What's going on? Welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. You are watching Daily Dive. It is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, in Guyton, Georgia, and we are live on 12 Ounce Sports via X, YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV. Remember to subscribe to the 12 Ounce Sports YouTube channel for other great shows and live sports. On today's awesome show, so close, and I mean so close, the NLL Awards races are very much alive. Anything can happen in week 21. I just want to make a case for each person before I get to my next segment, which will be my NLL Awards races again if I had a vote for my Rookie of the Year, Goalie of the Year, and MVP. And of course, once again, my top 8 National Lacrosse League teams of the teams that are currently in the playoffs. I'll also give you a sneak peek into if everyone had a chance to make the playoffs. I'll give you my top 4, like my top 8 teams that way as well, but you'll see. We want to first let you know this show is presented by the ticketing platform at 12 Ounce Sports. Now, while I have not updated the commercial, the website you go to is simply 12ouncesports.com and click the tickets tab, or go to 12ozsports.com/tickets. It's that easy. If you want National Lacrosse League tickets for less, go there. And don't worry, they have more than just the NLL. Like, they have every sport and all your favorite music artists' concerts, not to mention Broadway, theater, and more. 12ouncesports.com, click the tickets tab. Alrighty, folks. It's time to get into a segment I like to call So Close. And I mean, we are so close. But here's the deal. We still have a week left. And what does that mean? It means that we've got quite a few players still battling for Rookie of the Year, Goalie of the Year, MVP, Defender of the Year, transition. I don't do Defender of the Year until the end of the year. Transition player, I've never, I don't even know, that's up to every single voter has probably a different criteria for that. I am going to unveil also my Coach of the Year and my Most Improved Player probably next week. But for now, I'm talking about the Rookie, MVP, and Goalie, okay? We're going to start off with Goalie of the Year because this is so crazy. If you're going off of the analytics alone, like the goals saved above average, I still don't know how that stat comes about. It sounds cool, and it makes sense based on who's up there in the top 5, but also it leaves me puzzled how often that number drastically changes. But if you're going off of that alone, there is a very tight 5-man race. Actually, 6 goalies have 10 or above GSAA. You've got Doug Jamieson, Dylan Ward, Zach Higgins, Matt Vince, Frank Giuliano, and Nick Rose. The top 5, though, are separated by less than 3 points. So at 15.41, you got Doug Jamieson, followed by Dylan Ward at 15.19. See, you would not be able to tell me or convince me before I saw this that Doug Jamieson had suddenly taken the lead in that, but here we are. Part of the Firewolves' recent success has been because of Doug Jamieson, but I also want to mention this, even though I do want to prop up these awards right now. This is not my segment where I break down why they're not on there. Doug Jamieson was not great until all of his defenders came back. Now, I was the one who was very vocal and was like, I don't know if they matter that much. Well, apparently they do, because he has skyrocketed up all the goals save percentage, the goals average per game, the GSAA. He's up there in all of it now, suddenly after everyone came back. So I don't know if I think that's a knock against him. But he's leading in whatever the world GSAA is. And I know there's going to be someone in the comments saying it's defined by this. I don't care. It's an analytic, okay? Like, sometimes I feel like each person can do it differently. And again, that number changes. It goes from Zach Higgins being like lapping the field. The next week, he's like third place. It makes no sense. So that's why I'm like, this is the analytics thing. Save percentage right now. If we do starters only, meaning they play at least 40% of the average team's minutes, which is currently 407 minutes, Nick Rose is the only goalie over 80%. But Nick Rose also has a 5-9 record, which is crazy. We'll get to that in a minute. Frank Scigliano, Dylan Ward, Doug Jameson, Zach Higgins, Matt Vince, and Riley Hutchcraft actually all have 79 or better save percentage. Like, that's how close this goalie race is. But Nick Rose, if that's what you're going off of, he's up there. Look at saves alone. This is where it gets crazy. So Zach Higgins, Doug Jameson, Dylan Ward, Matt Vince are all separated by 3 total saves. The outline is 683, 683, 682, and 680 respectively. When you look at those numbers, Dylan Ward has played 1 less game than the 3 other contemporaries he's alongside, which is bonkers. So he might, once the 2 games happen this week for Colorado, and I know this information, I'm just going to pull it up just in case to verify it. This weekend, Colorado plays, so he's got 1 game left, so I forgot he missed the game. At Calgary, and so basically all these goalies are going to finish very close, okay? That's crazy. They're separated by 3 saves. That's nuts. Well, who's faced the most shots on goal? Same 4 guys? Same, it's identical. It's absolutely bonkers. Zach Higgins, Doug Jameson, Matt Vince, Dylan Ward, all separated by literally 2 shots on goal. That does not make sense. Now, again, Dylan Ward has played 1 less game, so maybe he's got obviously he's got the higher averages. It's still bonkers to me. And now you look at the wins. Matt Vince has 3 more wins than Frank Scigliano. And I said this before, guys, if we're going off of the best goalie on the best team, Frank Scigliano, 2 games he was gone, a 20-year-old that we now know by the name of Thomas Kajzik came in there and shut the door, especially in the second game he played. Like, that has to matter. When it is, I just told you the numbers, when it is so close, that stuff, it makes or breaks you, man. Now, as you'll see, in my goalie of the year race, and my leaders, if I had a vote, that is, Frank Scigliano will get the nod over Matt Vince. I will tell you why that is in the next segment. But that's crazy. And that's just the goalies. Like, think about that. Now we go to the rookies because that's like the next big debate. The rookie of the year. Well, Dyson Williams and Brandon O'Neill have a 61 points and 57 points respectively. And if you think, let's break it down. Well, Brandon O'Neill has the less points and has 1 more goal, which is insane. Mike Robinson has 48 points. Adam Potter has 43. Shout out to Brock Haley, the 5th guy in that mix, who has 40-plus points. But again, O'Neill and Dyson look like they're going to lap the field. In terms of loose balls, which is gets even more crazy than this, you've got Will Johansson leading that by a bunch. He's got 136. Alex Stack, the kid, is second. I know faceoffs matter, but in a rookie of the year race, they probably don't. So I will leave that alone. But in terms of players that don't take faceoffs that much, Will Johansson's got 136 loose balls, and then Mike Robinson's got 92. He's in second place. What's crazy is that Mike Robinson is the guy who doesn't have as much points as Brandon O'Neill and Dyson Williams, but he's got way more loose balls, which I think matters when, again, the race is this stinking tight. Adam Poitras and Will Johansson are 16 caused turnovers and 14 for Will Johansson. But again, Adam Poitras that time takes the points by 31. Turnovers, this is where it gets even trickier. If you thought, so Will Johansson's got less points. That's great, right? As has been pointed out to me, Dyson Williams has 40 turnovers. Brandon O'Neill has 33. Mike Robinson has 31. Adam Poitras has 38. You're like, okay, that's not terrible, right? It's terrible when Will Johansson has just 5. Like, that, everything I just said, that this guy has more points and this guy has more of this, Will Johansson, with his 136 loose balls, with his respectable 12 points, also has only 5 turnovers. So it's like, it doesn't make sense how close all of these awards are. It's going to come down to the final game of the season. And finally, the MVP race, which the first 2 years I did this show, I'm going to be honest, folks, I felt like by week 19, we had a general feeling of what the media consensus was. Like 2 years ago, Christian Del Bianco was the MVP by week 19. Like, argue a mirror. That's how it was. So for the final 2 weeks of the season, I had nothing to do but defend other players. Last year, Dane Smith or Josh Byrne, pick your poison, even though I disagree with that vehemently. There you go. This year, we don't know. There's literally 5 to 10 guys that anybody could vote for. It's going to be so close. I will be stunned if there is a runaway favorite for any of these awards. Even though I've heard Frank Scigliano for the goalie, baloney. You know it and I know it. That's not happening. So let's get to the MVP, like I said. Most goals this year, Jeff Teets got 53. That's great. Here's the issue. His team isn't in the playoffs. Now, they might make the playoffs, but as it stands, they're currently the 9 seed, and value has to mean something about winning. Like, so, only guy with 50 or more goals, Jeff T, doesn't matter. He's not in the playoffs. Ryan Smith, 47 goals. Here's the issue. Connor Fields is on his team. Wesley Berg, 45 goals. Here's the issue. Zach Currier is on his team. Let's get to most assists. Dane Smith, 99. That's awesome. Josh Byrne's on his team, but Dane Smith, to his credit, might break the assist record once again, which it doesn't make sense historically. Also, Josh Byrne is literally 3rd in the league in assists, and Josh Byrne has 13 more goals. So it's like you cannot, there's no strength. It's really a matter of what you feel is most important. Because there are some coaches out there, yeah, goals of course matter. But they might like the playmakers. They might like the all-around defensive guys. I personally value an all-around game. I value goals. Primary assists are up there. And in some combination of loose balls and calls turnovers, as you'll see in my top 5 MVPs. Let's get to players that are Swiss Army knives like a Zach Currier. Zach Currier makes this conversation insane because he's got 45 points, 180 loose balls, 28 calls turnovers, and 11 blocked shots. And oh, by the way, he's 6 of 12 with a face-off dot for good measure. Again, these awards make no sense this year, and yet there's going to be people tasked with voting for these players. And I'll be honest, I have beat the drum of Frank Scigliano is not goalie of the year. I don't know if I'd be mad because everything is so close, which is why this all wraps into a nice little bow. You know, I wrap this little gift of conversation up to you. I put it this way. As long as you're transparent and you're vocal about why you voted your MVP, your goalie, your rookie, I will respect it. Because we are literally down to the last week. Now, obviously, If Dane Smith gets 10 more assists in one game, maybe. But it's like, when you have the league this close, is it going to, like, what is your criteria? And that's why I called out the voters the other day. It wasn't necessarily hating on them. It's just, if we're going to call this year, we got to know what, like even in the presidential election, for politics, there's lack of a better analogy here. At least you know that California is worth a bunch of electoral votes. Okay, like that was a horrible analogy now I think about it, but I don't know why that came to my brain. The point is, we need to understand why you voted for what you did, because it's an amazing race. No reference to the TV show. And it blows my mind. Every last of the three major awards, you just don't know. You can't justify. Each person might have their own criteria. Guess what? So do I. When we come back to this awesome show, I'll give you my top 5 rookies, my top 5 goalies, my top 5 MVPs, again, if I had a vote. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We welcome you back to this live, again, at a new time for the rest of the season, 4 o'clock Eastern, edition of Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet, streaming on 12 Ounce Sports exclusively. If you want to listen to an audio-only podcast version of the show, head to Spotify and search Daily Dive. And just some quick numbers to pump you guys up. We have 22 followers on Spotify with 158 consumption hours, which again is pretty stinking humbling and cool at the same time. So for those 22 and probably more of you that are out there that are listening, giving us 158 hours of your time, thank you. That's stinking awesome. Again, Spotify only. Search Daily Dive. Okay, it is now time to put my money where my mouth is and give you, heading into week 21, my goalie, rookie, an MVP top 5 if I had a vote. And I will say that I believe I'm probably going to do it next Wednesday. You'll know on social media at Daily Dive LAX when I do this officially. But next Wednesday, I believe, is when I'm shooting for my goalie, like my awards. I might do some collaboration with some guests. We'll have to see how the dominoes fall and how schedules align. But right now, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, probably Wednesday, but just keep an eye open for my awards when I offer my Coach of the Year, my MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie, Goalie, and Most Improved Player. You'll want to take a look at that. To me, thank you for tuning in. Alrighty, Goalie of the Year, here it is for me. I struggled with this, man. I realized one of these awards, I was like, man, what is my criteria? So for the goalies, I gave Dylan Ward the benefit of having the same amount of numbers as the top guys with one less game. Now, I know what you're going to say, well, we're Frank Giuliano. Yeah, I get it. But Dylan Ward's replacement did not come in and just dominate the way Thomas Kaiser did. And the fact Dylan Ward has the numbers, like, I get it. Frank Giuliano's, like, goals against average is historically, like, top 20 all time, which is impressive. But he doesn't have the volume numbers that Dylan Ward has to match it with the other guys. Now, if the Mammoth missed the playoffs, I'm probably going to stray away from Dylan Ward. But right now, because it's like such a gray area for me, I will keep it at Dylan Ward for my Goalie of the Year. But again, my winner has got to make the playoffs. Even though I know my MVP, they have to be in the playoffs right now. My Goal of the Year next week could drastically change if Ottawa and Colorado miss the playoffs. So I guess what Saskatchewan Rest fingers saying, there's a chance. Yeah, pretty much. Which I just realized, actually. But I will give Zach Higgins the second place. Giuliano's third. Now, the reason I have Giuliano over Matt Vince, so I know the league has only been, has only been tracking the block shot stats since like 2021, maybe. Paul Dawson is the first player to ever get over 40 block shots in a season. He's at 50. That's bonkers. That hurts me just to say, knowing a lacrosse ball could be just coming straight at his wherever. And he's blocked 50 of them with one more game to go. I said it last year when Nick Rose won it officially for the league. I said, guys, Mitch just knew and Brad Creel, where they chop liver. So because of that, Frank Giuliano, despite those 2 games, would have the nod because I know he's going to Matt Hossack, but Paul Dawson blocking shots, like the goalie has 2 friends, okay? His best friend is those red pipes. His second best friend is a dude who goes like this. Like, oh, wait. No, sure, you can. Go ahead, make the save. I don't care. Who needs me, right? And, of course, Christian Del Bianco. I want to put Nick Rose in this spot. I've wanted to do that for 2 or 3 weeks now. Here's why I haven't, and there's 2 major reasons. Number one, Christian Del Bianco, not only is he 5-0, and like Nick Rose is like what, 5-9. Since the 2 players joined their respective teams, this stat blew my mind. I know Calgary's had a tougher schedule when you look at the standings. Guys, Del Bianco's 5-0. Nick Rose is 2-3. That's the simple fact. I know goalie, wins and losses aren't the only goalie stats. That's gotta matter. The second thing, Christian Del Bianco's numbers have gone up. Like, as great as he's been, his numbers have gone up since like the last time he did this. So Nick Rose is still pushed down. Again, even if Vancouver gets the highest seed possible, I don't see Christian Del Bianco cannot be a top 3 goalie. Now, maybe based on my criteria, he'll be the 3rd place goalie, but I'll put it this way. He cannot win Goalie of the Year. I love Del Bianco, but what Calgary did to him matters, even though it sucks. I'm not going to give him some Goalie of the Year if he goes 6-0. That's 33% of the National Lacrosse League season, and you think I'm pissed if you put Giuliano up there? Come on, man. Don't do that. If they win if they get to 6-0, if he gets 50 saves against Philadelphia, I don't care. I just do not care. Not a knock on Christian Novienko. It's me getting mad at the Roughnecks. Like, that's just how I feel. Rookie of the year right now, top 5. Now, this is probably the most improved and the defensive player of the year are the only awards where you don't have to make the playoffs. Like coach, MVP, goalie, playoffs have to matter. Folks, Adam Poitras back on top. Dyson Williams and Brandon O'Neill, they're really good, and I don't know if they've been as advertised, both of them, but I'll put it this way. Adam Poitras has very close to the amount of points, has also doubled them in loose balls. Like, the amount of loose balls those two have combined, he has as much loose balls. And he's got 16 calls, turnovers. They've got 1 combined. Give me Adam Poitras. He missed the game. I thought he was going to miss more time. He's back on top of my Rookie of the Year. Again, the only way Dyson Williams and Brandon O'Neill win it is 2 ways right now. Number one of them scores 5 goals or 4 goals in week 21. And then Adam Poitras scores like 1. The second thing is narrative. Again, I'm begging the voters to be transparent. This year is so stinking close. If you put Dyson or Brennan over Adam Poitras, I want to know. I want you on the show explaining yourself, because I don't think you can justify it, man. I really don't. I know it's close, but again, unless one of those 2 guys goes ballistic in week 21, Adam Poitras might be the Rookie of the Year right now. This might be the most short up award of my 3 that I've been doing all year long. Adam Poitras's got to be number 1 right now. Will Johansson comes in at 4th because he's got as much loose balls as Adam Poitras has. Will Johansson's got more. So, was it 50 more to be exact? And I may have messed up the graphic here. Let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, no. So it's crazy that Poitras actually has more calls, turnovers than Will Johansson. I was making sure I was getting that correct, and I did. Good for me. Mike Robinson is 5th place because if he would be 4th place if he also had 20 goals, because he's got 19, I gave Will Johansson the 4th place nod. And I think those are pretty much the 5 you're going to see on the ballots. Stop the Kiss might pop up for the face-off apologists that are worse than I am. You might see Brock, Haley, or Jackson Webster if one of them goes crazy. But I'm pretty sure the top 3 are going to be pretty universal. Like Will Johansson, I get it. But again, unless Mike Robinson, Brock Haley, or Jackson Webster go off, I see Dyson, Brennan, and then Adam Poitras. That's what it feels like the top 3 is. Poitras feels like the winner. Again, if Dyson or Brennan get a hat trick or 4 or 5 goal game, give it to them. I get it, but Poitras is going to be hard to beat, in my opinion. And finally, my MVP, it's going to stick with Connor Fields. And I really thought about Dane Smith. Here's why I went with Connor Fields. Connor Fields has way more loose balls, has 75 assists, which to be fair is not 99. But I believe the 44 goals, having 14 more goals is more impressive than having 24 more assists, half of which might be secondary assists, okay? I think MVP and goalie are the 2 closest races. Connor Fields would get my nod because he's got 44 goals, which to me has got to matter, especially if there's going to be a Jeff Teat apologist out there who puts him on their ballots. Connor Fields has got to be up there. Again, I don't know if I'd be mad if Dane Smith won the MVP, but if he don't score 10 assists again in week 21, it might be Connor Fields right now. Zach Currier, I put it third place because there's the Swiss Army knife that he is. Keegan Ball gets my fourth place nod. Here's the thing with Keegan Ball. That Christian Del Bianco has stolen a lot of his thunder. As great as Keegan Ball has been, would they have made the playoffs without Christian Del Bianco? Maybe not. I'm not sure. That's a hypothetical, but sometimes those conversations matter when the race is this close. Curtis Dixon is back in the playoffs, which means he's back on my MVP ballot, and he could be climbing as well, especially if Calgary wins their final 2 games, very especially if they do that. But right now, it looks like Curtis Dixon. In fact, in terms of the top 5 players, I think Curtis Dixon has the most to gain right now. And God bless the Saskatchewan Rush and the Halifax Thunderbirds, but there is no standouts on offense. Listen to the Rush points leaders, by the way, in case you're wondering why there's no Rush players. Mans has 69 points. Shanks has 68. Ryan Keenan has 67. And Robert Church has 64. That's insane to me. I don't know how that's possible, how close that is. And for Halifax, you've got 95 by Randy Stotts, 93 by Clark Peterson. Both have 30 goals, by the way. And by the way, Thomas Hogarth and Dawson Deed both have 28 goals. So there's no standout on either of those teams. Again, if the Roughnecks go 2-0 this final weekend, Curtis Dixon could sneak around and be an MVP because he's right there with Connor Fields in goals. Now, the assist might hurt him. The loose balls might hurt him as well, but he could be right. I would not be shocked. Whoever wins the MVP, as I do this math in my head, give me a second, I feel like whoever wins the MVP is going to be because Curtis Dixon took the second place votes away from the other guy. Let's say Dean Smith is your MVP and Curtis Dixon reaches 50 goals in the final 2 weeks. Your MVP is going to have Connor Ordain 1, Curtis 2, and Connor Ordain 3. It's going to be so crazy, but Curtis Dixon might be the guy who makes one of these guys not get it. It's going to be bonkers, man. Again, there's my awards right now, my awards leaders. Again, next week sometime, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, preferably Wednesday, we'll see. I'll do Coach of the Year, Most Improved Player, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Goalie, and Rookie. And that'll be my awards for the mics, if you will. We come back to this awesome show. I still have to give my top 8 teams of those that are in the playoffs right now. Woo, it's been a fun show, man. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap it up next, and bear with me.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
You need tickets to that next event? We've got them. That's right, tickets.12ozsports.com. Get you to any sporting event, concert, theater event that you can think of. And the promo code 12OZ or ROME gets you an additional discount. Don't feed the massive ticket corporate machine. Go to tickets.12ozsports.com and enjoy the show. America, get back on track with Dust Pods Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We welcome you back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks from the Plans. Again, at our brand new time of 4 o'clock Eastern until the end of the season, including, to what is today, Wednesday? So that means tomorrow, Pac Gregoire is on, and Friday, we'll have Adam Levy. Reminder, if you want short tickets to the next National Lacrosse League game, go to 12onsports.com and click the tickets tab, or go to 12onsports.com/tickets. Thank you for supporting the show and saving money. Okay. Time for my top 8 teams. Again, these are teams that are currently in the playoffs, and thankfully for you, I've also got a list of teams that whoever makes the playoffs, these would be my top 14 teams, of course, going into the final week. But I have a graphic for this first one here. Again, in the current 8 playoff teams, Buffalo, Vancouver, Rochester, Saskatchewan remain my top 4. I think Buffalo is going to three-peat. Vancouver is the best threat to them. Rochester is sneaky. And Saskatchewan, I feel like, could be clipped by either of the top 3, but could also be okay as well. They could also make it into the final. We'll see. But I think Rochester's just so sneaky, I gave them the number 3 nod. Shout out to Cooper Perkins, who actually put them high on his power rankings earlier in the season before anyone else did, and was laughed at for it. So, number 5 for me is the Roughnecks because of Curtis Dixon and Dane Dobie's pedigree, because of the health of Tyler Pace, because of Justin Anastasio at the dot, and because of Nick Rose, who's been playing well despite losing. They would be my 5th place team. Number 6, the Seals. I want Riglier to take the jump. If they make the playoffs, maybe he will. If he even plays this weekend, we'll see what happens. Number 7 for me, the Thunderbirds. Can't trust Warren Hill. Number 8, the Swarm. Can't trust Georgia. That's my top 8. Now, if I had it my way, and let's say somehow these teams make the playoffs, here would be my top 8. Again, a lot would have to happen, but here would be the 8 most dangerous teams. Buffalo, Vancouver, Rochester remain the top 3. If Albany made the playoffs, I would put Albany at number 4 because they got hot. They've got Doug Jamieson. They just made the finals last year. If Albany sneaks in, they are my 4th best team. Rush would drop to 5. Roughnecks at 6. Seals at 7. And again, if the Ottawa Black Bears can make the playoffs, Jeff Teat, Callum Jones, Zach Higgins sounds like an upset if they're on it for one game in the first round. That's all that matters. Again, Albany would jump to 4, and Ottawa would jump to 8. I've got Philadelphia at 9, Halifax 10, Georgia 11. Colorado will be at 12. I don't trust them at all. Rock at 13, Desert Dogs at 14. Now, obviously, Halifax and Georgia might make the playoffs, and very likely so. But again, if any of the teams can make it, and they do, cards fall where they may, and I don't even know if this is mathematically possible, Albany would jump to 4. Ottawa would jump to number 8. That's how I see it. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. It just sounds better when I say it. Thanks so much for tuning in to Daily Dive. Reminder to go to Daily Dive LAX, as you see it on the screen, to check out our Twitter and Instagram pages where you'll find reels, graphics, show updates, and much more, including Coach Leroy, who's trying to keep the winning streak going. His team is currently 3-0 since he started coaching lacrosse. We want to give him a big shout out once again. He also does a good job sharing stuff on our social media and also, of course, engaging with you, the fans. Keep the DMs coming. Keep the comments coming. We appreciate you. We love you so much. Check out our shop at dailydivelacks.creator-spring.com or click the link tree in our bios. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 o'clock, 12 Sports with Pac Gregoire. This has been Daily Dive. Enjoy the rest of your hump day. And this time I'll play the outro instead of the commercial again. Bye. I'm not funny.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.